Ready, go!
Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Abba Kyari operates Dêãth Sqüãd in Nigeria. He will hunt me for exposing him to FBI. Hushpuppi's reviews. Abba Kyari operates Dêãth Sqüãd in Nigeria. He will hunt me for exposing him to FBI. Hushpuppi reviews. To my dear listeners, from wherever you're listening from, please stay tuned as I read today's news. Abba said his role in the indictment of Mr. Kyari, which precipitated the downfall of Nigeria's most celebrated police officer, also put his family at grave risk in Nigeria. Nigerian internet fraud ringleader Hushpuppi Abbas has told the United States District Court for the Central District of California that he is at risk of being harmed by disgraced police officer Abba Kyari. Mr. Abbas said his role in the indictment of Mr. Kyari, which precipitated the downfall of Nigeria's most celebrated police officer, has put him at grave risk, and he would not be able to return to Nigeria after serving his sentence in the US. The pleas were outlined in a memorandum he submitted before Judge Otis Wright, seeking a downward review of sentencing years demanded by the prosecutors after Mr. Abbas pleaded guilty to multi-million-dollar fraud last year. Luis Shapiro, an American defense attorney hired by Mr. Abbas, filed the memorandum on behalf of his client on September 5 per court filing seen by People's Gazette. The prosecutors have demanded up to 11 years in prison for Mr. Abbas, as well as payment of $1.7 million in restitution and $500,000 in fines. A 3-year supervised release after completion of the 11-year sentence was also recommended, filing showed. The defense, led by Mr. Shapiro, countered the request, saying Mr. Abbas had become a changed person since he was arrested in Dubai in June 2020, extradited to the US in the same month, and remanded in prison ever since. The defense therefore asked the court to hand Hushpuppi between 35 to 41 months in prison. Mr. Wright is expected to hear the matter on September 21 and subsequently determine sentencing duration. Once this case is resolved and Mr. Abbas is released, that he will not be able to return to Nigeria, Mr. Shapiro wrote in the counter request. Abubakar Kyari, a Nigerian politician and police commissioner, operates a death squad. Kyari was indicted in the Juma case by the government's investigation into his case. Mr. Abbas hopes to move his family out of Nigeria when he gets out of prison. The looming threat of Mr. Kyari's supporters, as well as intense media harassment, has forced his family to continue moving to secret location within Nigeria. They must rent different apartments simultaneously while continuously changing telephone lines. Additionally, his children face the possibility of going through their formative years without their father, Mr. Shapiro added. Mr. Abbas pleaded guilty in April 2021 to charges of internet fraud, money laundering, among others. The FBI indicted Mr. Kyari as part of the syndicate about the same time. Mr. Kyari, Itato, Nigeria's most famous and decorated police officer, was immediately suspended as the deputy police commissioner while extradition process continued from the US side. Last week, a Nigerian court ruled that Mr. Kyari should not be extradited because he was already charged with more grievous crimes of drug trafficking by the Nigerian anti-narcotics authorities. To my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Now, let's move down to the comment section. A first commenter says he will be given a stay in US with what he has said because he's helping the US government to uncover some things. Another commenter says the guy is smart already, thinking of a way of not coming back to Nigeria after his sentence. Both of you are on their way, both are on their way to jail. So fear not, bro. You guys shall sail again after serving your fatherland. So my dear listeners, now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by at the comment section and let's know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.